I've been holding on, trying to forget what I see. It's been a lot going on.
Happy Thanksgiving, man.
Another episode of New Testimonies. And
He's doing my job, bro. That's what I'm supposed to do, right? But y'all heard of man, Darin Dontae, man. Episode 2, second season. We got Colby Finneys in the building, man. We got Colby Finneys in the house.
word up. How y'all doing this Thanksgiving?
We just gonna talk about some real life things, stuff that he went through. Maybe it'll help somebody else.
Yeah, man. Touching on that subject, we'll get into it. So, grief is a thing that everybody should be talking about. It's normal, and it's what people go through. And so let's get into it.
Turkey over here on the grill.
Yeah.
But it's smoked out. You feel me? And we got the. You feel me? You already know.
Straight up.
But man, how old were you when your dad passed?
My dad passed. So around the time my dad passed away, that was August 20th of 2010. So that was 11 years ago.
Mm-hmm. What grade were you in?
I was in 7th grade.
You was about 12, 13.
About 12, 13, yeah. Going on 13.
Had your mom already passed? Or?
No, she wasn't around. She moved out of the picture when I was like 3 months old. So it was just me and my dad. Yeah. Yeah, my dad, he was cool. I liked living with him. We lived out in the country on about 45 acres. Had like horses, cattle, cows, all that, and it was nice.
So growing up, it was more like farm life?
Yeah.
You milked the cows or what?
No.
Oh, so y'all just had them on there?
Yeah, we just had them for the show.
You rode the horses?
Yeah.
Okay. What else y'all did? Did y'all have like gardening on it?
Oh, he before my dad passed, he made 2 man-made ponds, and he filled it up with like catfish, trout, stuff like that, and we would go during the day and go out and fish and that stuff.
So he was like a family man.
Yeah.
So he had a wife or
yeah.
kids?
Me and my little brother, me and my little brother Noah.
So what was that day like when you found out the news? Where were you at?
So it was 2010. It's August 2010. I just got to my grandparents' house, and everybody was on the street. Like there was probably about 15, 20 cars on the street, and it was about an hour and a half after I got home at my grandparents' house. They told me the news, and yeah, I mean it hit me.
So you was coming to the house?
Yeah, I was from my stepmom at the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were in the middle of getting a divorce.
So you pulled up in the ambulance and everything out there?
This was the day after. This was like them letting me know, informing me on what happened.
Oh, yeah. So it happened before that?
That night, yeah. And
they didn't want to tell you?
No, and then they told me soon after, and then coming with the loss is the grief stages, so that started setting in.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Sorry to hear that. How did it make you feel?
It was a mix of emotions, sadness, confusion, being worried, not knowing what's going to happen next. There's a lot of emotions going on at once.
Okay, so at this point, you're 13 years old, and are we going to school the next morning?
Yeah.
So we going to school the next morning. How was it like dealing with that? Did you feel like your anger came out sometimes, or
Yeah.
it changed a little bit, huh?
On getting write-ups to school, I lost count of the referrals. I just kept on getting referrals after referrals. I think that was like the first year I got suspended. They sent me home for like a week. I called it staycation, stay at home vacation.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was whenever I started getting right up to school.
So at this point, you don't have no more guidance. You don't have nobody to get on you no more.
No.
Your dad was pretty strict.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you felt like you had a little leeway after that, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
And then, you felt like, it was like a burden on you, so you just out here now.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Who are you living with at this point?
At that point in time, I moved in with my grandparents, and we live in the Woodlands, and yeah, I liked it. Living with my grandparents was nice. I got spoiled, got everything I wanted for Christmas, and then some, and it was nice. Yeah.
So, we're living with our grandparents at this time, and everything's going good, like you said. It's nice. And when did it come to the point where you just got tired of living there? What happened there?
Well, I'd say probably like the turning point was probably like around like a couple months before Christmas of 2015. My grandpa, he started like drinking a lot, like drinking wine. He would go to like Specs and then buy like cases of wine and just drink all day. And so I'd go to sleep, he'd be drinking, and then I'd wake up, he'd be drinking. And that one morning I woke up and he wasn't drinking. And I had to call the ambulance and pronounce him deceased.
Wow. So where was Grandma at this time?
My grandmother, she passed away. She passed away like a year and a half right before that. She had stage 3 cancer. Breast cancer.
When you moved in with your grandparents after your father died,
Yeah.
your grandma died next.
Yeah, she passed away in 2013, and she was in a place in the hospice. She was in a hospice for about half a year, not even half a year, probably like 2.5 months at the most, and then she passed away. And yeah, I remember hanging out with my grandma. We'd always go to Chuck E. Cheese, and I'd always ball out.
Sorry to hear that too, man.
Yeah.
But okay, so Pops died, then we go live with your grandparents, then Grandma died out for cancer, right?
Yes.
And then how many years passed when Granddaddy died?
It was I'd say about a year and some change, about a year and a half.
Okay.
Yeah,
So things changed when your grandma passed.
it was the same connection. We were getting along perfectly. Every time my birthday would come around, he'd always have tickets to the Texans game. We'd be sitting field seats. It was nice. And hey, yeah, so I wouldn't say there was any friction in between there.
Okay. So everything going good, and
Yeah.
then he passes away. Man, how are you feeling at this point? Like you lost your dad, you lost your grandmother, now your grandfather.
I mean, it was a lot of emotions. It's a lot to take in, and along with the loss, it just comes with time. Time of acceptance and understanding that there's no taking it back, and so it was more or less like a time of coming to God and just coming to my senses of no, this is what it is, and
Yeah.
this is life.
So you bring up God, and I feel like you know, death will bring you closer to God. But how was like was anyone in your family like leading you to Christ early on?
Yeah. Excuse me. I would say so for that. It would be my grandparents that were a big motivation on putting me in church. I was in vacation Bible school since I was a little kid.
Okay.
I was at church camps over the summer, so I was always in that setting.
Good. Okay, so you start getting closer. Like, I know we grew up in church and we be in the Word and we go to Bible study, Sunday school. Because my grandparents were the same way. They taught me about church and God and okay. So at this point, you need them for yourself, though.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, what's the difference of like meeting God in your time of grief and just going to church coming up and basically I don't want to
Being
say
forced into it.
not forced into it, but it's something that we
Always having it like in the back of your mind.
yeah, we have to do. Yeah,
I'd say with coming naturally to God, it's more it's more of an acceptance thing. At first, it's
Right.
you have to come at ties of this is what it is, and this is the decision I'm making, and I'm 100% about this decision. And once that decision is made, then it's all about living that path that you were repented for and that you were asked to live.
Yeah. Okay, so like you're going through a lot at this point, right? So, and you could have brought up anybody else, but you brought up God. And I know like sometimes when you're going through so much, and like, who did you have? Did you have anyone else?
But yeah, I had my dad's sister and my cousins. So when my grandparents passed away, I moved in with them, and so then when I moved in with them, my cousin Cheyenne, she was still living there, and my cousin Darin, my cousin Dean, and my cousin Evan, and so I had like 4 cousins around me. So it wasn't really, I'd say, like a hard time, but it wasn't bad either.
Yeah, okay. That's good. Well, you had siblings and
Yeah.
family members to help you at that time of grief, because I know that's hard.
Of course, yeah.
So, man, okay. So we moved in with Auntie. And how long were you living there?
I lived with my aunt from 2015 to I'd say 2018, like the beginning of 2018. And yeah, living with my aunt, my cousins was cool. That was high school for me. 9th grade all the way up till senior year, and it was cool. I mean,
College Park High School?
yeah, made a lot of friends. Still got some friends. Cut a few people off that needed to be cut off, and high school was what high school was. I liked it. Didn't have any complaints, I'd say.
Okay, so at this point, when did you move out of your auntie's house?
So when I moved out of my aunt's house, I moved in with my dad's dad, and basically this was like kind of, I'd say, like lockdown mode. I didn't have like a phone at all to contact anybody. It was basically, I was like on like full restrictions, as if I was like, say, like I was like in junior high or something. But keep in mind, I'm in 11th grade, and so I'm living over there. I'm being told I can't even leave the house by myself. So I'm just like, man, what am I doing over here? There's really no reason for me to be over here. So yeah, that didn't last long. That lasted till October, from the beginning of January 2018 till October 2019 is when I moved. And yeah, I just had to get out of that situation and just find something new and refreshing, I'd say. So yeah.
So how does it feel at this point, Kobe? Like you moving from household to household, that brings a toll on you too. Like you're not stable at this point. You're just moving and trying to figure out some things, right?
Yeah.
How could that feel, man? How would that feel?
It comes with just being sociable and creating those friendships / relationships, just people and getting to know people and getting to know who's around you on a personal level. And I'd say that's really more what it comes with, just being established.
Okay, and then when you move out of, let me say Pops.
Yeah.
When you move out of Pops' crib, where do you go from there?
So when I moved out of grandparents' crib, I actually moved into my first ever apartment, and I drove over one day from across the street from high school to this apartment complex called Pine Creek Ranch.
Okay, so like at this point, like how did you get the casework and things though? You skipped the part, like you moved to Pine Creek, but how were you able to, just move on your own? Because right now you're still in 11th grade, right?
Yeah.
So how were you able to just move on your own and have your own crib and stuff?
So 11th grade was when I was still living with my grandparents before they kicked me out and everything. And then so when I moved out, it was like 5 days after my birthday. And I know like some kids that have say like money set up for them, they get it at a certain age. And thank you. And yeah, that's really what it was. Just the money being released at a certain age and me branching off and like getting ready for the real world.
Oh, so at this point, you're old enough to get some of the money, right? Not all of it, but
That's correct.
you got a caseworker and she gives you a certain amount,
Yeah.
To take care of yourself in life.
Yeah. Pretty much.
That's
yeah.
great. Okay, so you moved to Pine Creek and you're still a baby.
Yeah.
So how is it transitioning? Because you're not around any people that already experienced life anymore. You're basically a baby with your own place.
So with Pine Creek, I won't lie. Like the first week was a lot of uncertainty, and then like after the first week, it was like, man, I'm really got my own apartment and I'm still in high school. And so I'd say probably like about halfway of having the apartment, is when school went out the window. And I was about halfway in my senior year and I withdrew. Still got my withdrawal papers and everything just in case. And yeah, it was a lot of just self-motivation things of living alone. It's a lot of just getting up and making sure you're handling business.
And you're still grieving at this point as well, right?
Yes, yeah.
So how did the drugs come in?
So with the drugs, they came in, I'd say when high school started. It was like the last semester of 8th grade when I started smoking weed, and that's whenever like the gateway to drugs opened up. But it was never nothing past weed.
Right.
And but yeah, just occasional getting high to pass the time, or getting high because I had a certain amount of money in my pocket and I didn't feel like holding on to the money.
Right. I brought that up because, I know I met you in Pine Creek. That's where I moved. And, I met you at the basketball court. And we started linking up. And, I was grieving as well. And I was on the weed heavy. And you were on the weed heavy. So, like at this point, are you using the weed as a, you know what I mean? Because when you smoke weed, man, it kind of clear your mind from everything else. You know what I mean? And then when you come down, everything else is right there still.
Yeah, yeah. It's like an escape.
Okay, and like smoking weed every day, because I know at this point you grieving, you by yourself at home.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You can care less about anything. I know, bro, because I've been through it. It's basically bringing you into that mental stage. You feel me? That mental illness, bro, because I've been there before, so I can talk this way. I can talk about it.
Right.
So when we smoking weed, the more weed you smoke, the less it does. So you're getting more, way more than what you normally smoke. You feel me? Because I was smoking zips 3 days.
Yeah.
You feel me? So, and I know you were too. I used to pull up at your crib and you going through weed. And we always need some more. At this time, we smoking together because I had just lost my cousins and, you know what I mean? And I felt like God sent you around me because I was going through a lot of stuff mentally too.
Yeah.
And I know that weed was like my escape, like you said. But like, how much was it costing you, like at this time? Like how much, not even talking about just money, but costing you in life. You don't want to get up. You don't want to bathe sometimes. Yeah. You don't want to... you know what I mean? Come on,
like
let's talk.
Just like what you said.
You don't want to clean. You don't want
not want to get up, not want to even go unlock the front door of the house, not want to get out of bed, not getting out the bed till like 5 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Not cooking.
Just wasting time.
Yeah, not eating dinner. I mean, not eating food all day till just dinner and just eating dinner, and that's what it is.
But you got weed.
But it's there.
And you got enough money to take care of things, but the money going to what? Let's be real.
It's going to the weed. Going to the dead end, the weed.
You be smoking and you just forget about everything else, man. So how was that? Like not having nobody. You got friends, man, but at the end of the day, who was really there for you? Like,
I'd say what it was like it was Darin. Really, what it was like last year on my birthday. Nobody really hit me up, and Darin. I was kicking it with Darin all day, and that's really what it was. Who was the only person around? Truth be told.
Wow, man, I wasn't even expecting that, man, but it is what it is, man, and I do that for a lot of people, man, and I do that from the heart. I don't be looking for nothing in return, you know what I mean? Like I said, God sent you around me at a time in my life where I felt everything was, you know what I mean? I lost my cousins, I lost my baby cousin, you know what I mean? Grandma got sick, you know what I mean? Everything was changing for me as well, and you had already experienced this. And I met you, it's what a coincidence, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, we was there for each other in a way.
Right.
But I know how it feels, so I was trying to be there any way I could, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And anything I ever did, I don't have to say what I done on camera, but anything I ever did, it was because of that, you know what I mean? I feel for people.
Yeah.
That's just my heart, my dad the same way. Being able to get away from something sometimes, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
sometimes
right.
you just gotta get away,
man,
and have a good time, and you come back and you see life, how bad it could be, and then you come back home, and I know when you come back home, you be like, I'm not doing so bad after all, because you see, I brought you to people that was going through worse than what you going through, you know what I mean? Yes, we going through death in situations, but there's people out here that's living poor. There's people out here that ain't trying to live for nothing. There's people out here that don't have God in their life. You know what I mean? And up to now, it's like, we still grieving, bro.
Yeah.
It's like, do you think it'll ever stop?
I'd say the grieving, it'll stop whenever people get some therapy and come to the senses that this stuff don't last.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Man, So I see you brought your Bible with you today when you came over.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't have nothing else, man, don't you feel like you got God, man? Like at all times, man. Like God gonna be there no matter what.
Yeah, when everything disappears and there's nothing else in front of you at all.
Right.
There's always the Bible that you can pick up.
Right. Man, like where are you at now in life, man?
I'd say right now, I would say at peace, but I'd say I'm close to it.
I like that.
Yeah.
We all striving to get somewhere, man. You know, ain't nobody perfect, man. Ain't nobody living a just great life, man. We can
Right.
you know, portray to the people, but everybody dealing with a little something, you feel me?
Yeah.
But you know what I mean, like you said, I'm headed towards it. That means that you change some things in your life though, right? You can't keep going on in life, not changing anything, thinking that it's gonna get better, right?
Yeah, that's great.
So, you know, that's where we at with it, you know what I mean? You always striving to do better, you always striving to be a better person. And, you know, that's what's helping as well, you know what I mean? Changing certain things, changing the little things. Like I tell people all the time, you gotta fight. You gotta fight too, you can't just let everything beat you up all day, man. You know what I mean? But, you know, time heals, man, and in due time, you know, hopefully we'll get it all the way together, man. But, you know.
And I ain't crying about nothing, cause we got so much work out here to do. I'm doing what you taught us all our lives. That's the only way I feel alright. They don't wanna hear us talk about grace. Well, that's the man who saved my life. I'm doing what you taught us all our lives. That's the only way I feel alright. They don't wanna hear us talk about grace.